Today is senior day. So you have to dress up for senior day to come in. We got 3 seniors, 2 players, and Amy, one of the managers, out here today. I have the gold vest and then red tie, so I make it in Maryland colors now. Black and white, gold and red. So just, you know, something to do, make it a little more special for them.
Two things that happen with seniors is I spend a lot of time, you know, in the spring semester getting them prepared for the future. A focus in terms of getting their resume ready and talking through what they want to do. And, you know, we spend that senior year kind of getting their minds wrapped around that. And then, you know, for the actual senior day, all right, senior day. I have learned throughout the years not to make it an emotional speech.
It's always a great time when we get to this moment of the year. And, you know, that's what senior day is supposed to be about. Happiness, not tears.
With women, it's not a good thing in terms of being able to flip that switch to be able to play. I try to keep it just more balanced so they're going to be able to play well in the game. You know, somewhere in my speech, you know, I obviously, you know, talk about our seniors and what they've meant to our program.
Individually, Caitlyn, you know, not often do people get to have 2 senior days.
Senior day for basketball will be different for me because it's less so about playing for me and it's more so about just being part of the team. I remember when I was being recruited for volleyball when I was in high school, even though we have our own gym upstairs, my coach thought that Comcast was like signified Maryland pride, and it's a huge stadium and fun to play in. So he takes all his recruits up in the bleachers, and we were able to look down, and that moment just really stood out in my mind because I've come full circle and I've actually had the experience of playing here and realizing what he was talking about. So that was cool.
You know, not many players get to have 2 senior nights. You know, she gets to have one, obviously, in the main sport that she came here to Maryland for was volleyball, but then to have another senior night here with basketball. And, you know, credit her, you know, to be able to make the sacrifices that she did with our team coming in January. You know, a lot of seniors would want to go enjoy their time and their spring and their light load that they've created in their last semester.
And it says a lot about you in terms of when you get ready to graduate here from Maryland, what you're going to go and accomplish. It takes a selfless person to do that, and we thank you.
It's weird because I've never really seen her play basketball. I know she played in high school, but I've only ever seen her play volleyball, so it's definitely a cool experience. She's doing great, and the fans love her, so it's awesome for her.
Tiana, you know, our staff, man, when you look back at your career and you
being a senior means to me, you know, you're closing a chapter in your life and, you know, going on to open a new one. 4 years ago, when I showed up to, you know, University of Maryland, I was a very shy person. I was very soft-spoken. I really kept to myself. I barely spoke. I was in like a big shell.
And you think about, you know, that freshman who came in, all right, in essence, you know, you can relate with us.
One of the major obstacles that no one really, that people rarely know about is that me and Essence, we wasn't really, you know, as close as we are now. And, you know, we had to go through a whole season where we, you know, didn't like each other. We weren't close because it stemmed from an AAU little altercation. You know, her teammate got into it with my teammate, and then I got into it, and Essence got into it. So it was like a domino effect.
So from there, I never thought I would ever see her again. Better yet, even come on an official visit with her. So when we come on our visit, I'm like, she looks familiar.
I'm like, Essence looks so familiar. I'm trying to figure out who this girl is. And I'm like, oh, I remember that's the girl that, you know, tried to, you know, say something to our teammate. And then I was like, I can't stand her.
And in practice, we would just like fight each other purposely, like do spiteful things to one another.
We would have our little battles, you know, when we, you know, give an extra shove, you know, do an extra, you know, aggressive box out or something like that.
It was so petty to the point where I wanted a shower in the locker room and she wanted the same shower, and I would rush after practice and go get in the shower before her.
You know, I finally had my breaking point. I had told our staff I was tired of watching it. I decided I was going to put the 2 of them together, and I was going to make them communicate, and I was going to be the mediator.
So then I didn't say anything, and then Essence off the break was like, I don't like Tiana, and I was like, I don't like Essence, and then she was like, well, what happened? So then we told her about the issue from back in our AAU days, and she just looked at us like, are you serious?
After a while, you thought about it like, is it really that important? Like, because our lockers was right next to each other too, so I had to like see her every day. So let's just end it, and that was that. So that's how I looked at it and moved on from it.
Feel kind of proud to be able to be the one to kind of, you know, get them to understand one another. Tiana, in essence, it's awesome to watch when two people come full circle. Absolutely. They can finish each other's sentences. They room together. They know how to poke fun at one another, get under each other's skin. But, I mean, they're the best friends. I mean, when you see their interaction, they're going to have that relationship and that dynamic for the rest of their lives. And, you know, really special to be able to see in the course of 4 years that bond, how they grew together.
You know, kind of a insecure, quiet, out of shape little girl that came in as a freshman.
Oh man, life was difficult. I came in as an introvert, very quiet, hardly ever spoke, never knew what was going through her mind, and you know, practices were difficult. Conditioning started out in the preseason. I remember a lot of moments her breaking down, you know, in practices, wanting to quit, crying. Just, I mean, amazing to be able to see the transformation for Tiana from her freshman year all the way to now.
The thing that you showed all of us is that in your 4 years, you were never going to be satisfied. It takes great discipline to do what you did. And in 4 years, you showed all of us that all you did was continue to work behind the scenes. And I think the lesson for all of us to be able to take from Tiana's situation is that in your life, when you get ready to graduate from here, you should never be satisfied with where you're at in life. You should always be challenging yourself to get better. You should always want to be the best. So when you look back in a career, you know, in your life, 4 years, 5 years, you should always be challenging yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, in terms of how much better can you be in life. Because when you continue to do that, even into your adult years, you're going to continue to have success, and that's why I know the two of you are going to be very successful. Caitlyn, go get Tiana.
I've gotten to know some awesome people, made friends hopefully for a lifetime.
Look at the volleyball girls. Look at the volleyball girls. Look at the volleyball girls.
You want to take a picture?
Look at the volleyball girls.
And I have 2 sets of teammates, which that teammate bond is a special thing, and I have 2 different teams with that, so I'm lucky.
Just seeing Caitlyn in a different element, like it was just awesome. See her like being accepted into the basketball team and like knowing her in the volleyball team is just awesome.
I mean, it's all of you guys and you guys that have made this possible. I've never felt as welcomed and loved. You guys, oh my gosh, you're an awesome team, and just thank you very much. We're gonna stop.
Like, I'm really happy for Tiana. I know she's going to go on and do wonderful things with the rest of her life. Just 4 years ago, we just literally hated each other. Now look at us, like, we look out for one another. So she's like a sister to me, I guess. I just can't wait to see what the great things she's going to do with the rest of her life.
Amy Top is one of our managers, a senior manager for us, and actually came into the program. This was her first year and only year, and will graduate here in May. So she's been behind the scenes, really helping with, you know, some of the team travel and the meals, and great attitude, positive, a lot of energy, and is going to be very successful in life. Amy, you know, has the special gift of reciting all the verses of the Bible.
Here we go. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy.
And, you know, shocked all of us when she went through every single book, you know, and had it all memorized from a very young age.
2 and 3, Jude and Revelation.
Wow.